This video is going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to convert the new gas furnace platform from the standard configuration of upflow to a downflow configuration with right vent. This is not a zero clearance, so your vent piping will be coming out of the right side of the furnace after we have it fully converted. I've gone through the installation instructions and laid out the parts that are going to be required for this conversion. So I would suggest when you get ready to do this conversion, look at your I&O and make sure that you have the parts necessary. You will need the RxGY-CK kit in order to complete this installation. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to take the camera over here so we get a little better view of the parts that we're going to be working with. That ought to do it. Okay. Our first step, we're going to remove all of this assembly, the flue transition and the elbow. You'll notice that I've laid the furnace on its back because it's easier to get to everything. You don't have to flip the furnace around to do that to make this conversion. If you do it like that, you can do it on its back with one step, and it makes the conversion process a little bit simpler than normal. Okay, so to do that, we're going to remove these, the flue transition first. I suggest when you try to remove this that you loosen all of these hose clamps to make it easier to remove. Use the right. This is a 5/16 inch fitting, so 5/16 bit is required. 5/16 and 1/4 inch is all is required to service or convert any of these. Okay, so now we've got it loose. We'll pull this transition out, discard that. We'll loosen hose D, take it off, get it out of the way. Now it's important that when you take this elbow off, you can discard the elbow, but the coupler, you have to put it back on just the way it was, okay? It's got an airflow directional arrow on here that tells you which way the airflow is supposed to go. So you need to make sure the airflow is pointing towards the outside of the jacket. So we'll put that back on. I'm not going to tighten it up at this point because we're going to have to move it again here a little bit. We'll also remove the 1/4 inch tubing from the trap. We'll discard that. Now it's at this point that we'll remove the trap from the assembly. So see if I can let me get this camera where we can see it better. Okay. Two screws that hold it in. Use your 1/4 inch nut driver. Remove these two screws. And the trap simply pulls straight out. Alright, now we're going to hang on to that because we'll need it again here in a few minutes. Alright, I'm going to move the camera back around where we can see. Alright, our next step is to install the 2 5/8 inch. This was in the kit, the RxGY-CK kit. You'll put it in the top left of the furnace. Now we'll pop out the plug in the side of the jacket where the air intake or discharge goes, and we will install the grommet. we need to pop out the plug here where the air intake goes in, and we're going to relocate that over here to the right side of the cabin. Got that snapped in so we have the hose sealed properly. Now we'll take this plug off of the inducer coupling and move it to the other one on the lower side. All right. Now you're going to install the plug that was in the kit, the RxGY kit, into the back of the trap. So you'll take this and you will install this plug in here as shown. Make sure it's snug and tight. Then you will take this plug out of the collector box and put it where the drain trap was before. Bottom of the control box. Now we're going to install the intake coupling. And the air diffuser. So once we have that installed, we'll take this air diffuser, okay? Get in here where you see. And we'll install it in here until it seats itself. Okay, once it's seated, you can see what it looks like inside the furnace. All right. Okay, now we're going to install the bracket that came with the trap. We use this bracket here, and we're going to install it on the furnace, or excuse me, on the. You put it on here just like this, and then we'll use the screws to attach it. Okay, you can see I've attached the bracket to the drain trap now, so I'm going to install that onto the furnace jacket. Also, there's a little cap on the top of this condensate trap that needs to be removed. I'll show you where that's at. See that cap right there? We need to remove that. So that's going to be my next step. Okay, your kit comes with some 1/4-inch tubing that you will need to install. I'm not going to cut it to length because this is just for show and tell, but I want you to see you install that on the top of the trap, and then you'll cut it to length and install it onto the trap. not the trap, the collector box. So it's approximately 10.5 inches is what you'll need for that installation. Now we're going to install hose D. We're going to connect it to the coupling right here. Go ahead and tighten that down so it doesn't rotate anymore. Okay, now we're going to take hose E that is in the kit that you get, and you will install that onto the top of the trap. To the collector box. So now you can see that we have the hoses connected to the trap as they're supposed to be. Okay, now we're going to install the bulkhead coupling. So to do that, we'll pop out the plug in the side of the jacket. And then we will take the hose clamp that came in the kit, put it on the hose that's coming from the trap. Reinstall here. Put your hose clamps on. And now you are ready to go. That is for the draining out of the right side of the cabinet. There's an alternate kit that allows you to drain out the left side of the cabinet. I will show you that as we right now. Okay, so if you need to drain this out of the left side of the cabinet in a downflow configuration, you will use hose B from the RXGY-CK kit, and you will attach it to tube C that comes with the furnace. Okay, this will allow you to drain out the other side of the cabinet. First thing you do is you're going to take it, it's L-shaped, and you're going to put the short end onto tube C. Don't lock it down yet, you're going to have to twist it around to make sure it fits the way you want it to. You attach it here, you run it on this side, and you attach it here. Put your hose clamps on. And you are configured to drain out of the other side of the cabinet. Okay, I've stood the furnace back up now so you can see that it is in the downflow configuration. And this is what the final assembly looks like, with the alternate drain going out of the left side of the cabinet.